All right, guys, welcome in. It's the 16-day forecast day. We have hurricane force winds over California. We have hot spots popping up everywhere on the West Coast, even out off in the water. What the hell's going on? Hopefully we can dig in and find out. I took a couple screen captures today. Let me see if I can bring them out here. Stream's running a little bit funky right now. So let me jump over to this. We're going to get into the 16-day forecast here in just a little bit. Got a couple other things to get into. So right now, I'm trying to stream this in 1920 by 1080. I'm trying to stream this in the highest quality possible so that people can see all these hot spots that I'm going to be showing here over the next couple minutes. There's fires that are popping off that they're not even showing on the maps. And I'm not even sure if this is going to be able to stream in 1080, but I guess we're going to try. Yeah, this is putting a strain on the satellite internet. So here, I'm going to go ahead. I'm just trying to let this run through. I think I sped it up to double time. Yeah, it starts speeding up here in a minute. But I mean, there were so many fires I couldn't even count them all. And not just in California, Northern California, Wyoming, Idaho. I mean, we got stuff popping off everywhere. Like I said, even out off the coast. And yeah, this is going to be pretty interesting. We have winds clocking at 103 miles an hour. We have like a category 2 fire hurricane. Anyway, we'll get into that. I just want to document that it's only got a couple minutes left here. And hopefully this will come out good enough you can see. Everywhere I put my mouse and I highlight it, that's where a fire is popping off. It's in double time, so it's cruising pretty fast. But right where that oil refinery blew up the other day, we have smoke coming out of there. We have a hot spot coming out of there. We have fires in the same area. There's one right there I missed. Yeah, there, now I got it. But yeah, man, it's just crazy how many fires are popping off. And hopefully we can use this other app I got to try to see where they're popping off. Are they popping off at a volcanic butte? Are they popping off at a power station or a power line? So hopefully we can dig into all this and find out. That's probably enough of that. And then I got one more that I think I might have zoomed in a little better. We'll see here.
Oh, another question on the interview with the Los Angeles Times on April 21st. You said that you told the Associated Press that the American government has.
Okay, my scenes got changed somehow. All right, let me stop this. Let's get into just a couple quick things. Let's listen to the mainstream here. This looks like she's wearing a Gumby outfit. If you ever watch Radical Ralph's Coffee, he's got this little Gumby thing. Look at her clothes.
Right, especially if a power line comes down, and this is what we're talking about in terms of those peak wind gusts. 103 miles per hour from some of the strongest gusts since midnight. Now, this is closer to the Kincaid fire over towards the coastal range, and I want you to keep that in mind, coastal range. Now, when we take a look at the foothills off the Sierra, we're generally looking at 70 to 73 plus mile per hour gusts. Now, that's paradise right there.
See, these are targeted wind events. See, they're so small. It's such a small, confined area. It's like a funnel system. But yeah, pretty crazy, that Gumby outfit she has on
near
there.
The campfire. So we are seeing very similar conditions to when we saw that campfire break out because of this.
It's not similar at all.
Classic setup. High pressure.
It's not a classic setup all, you dumbass.
Pressure moves into the Great Basin. Low pressure moves off the coast. Those offshore winds, high fire danger, wind gusts over 65 miles per hour. Up here, they're called Diablo winds. Down south, they're called Santa Ana winds. Now,
all right, we don't need to get into all their BS here. Just wanted to show that. Now check this out. In Utah, the Forest Service is about to set a giant forest fire on purpose. This came out a few days ago. A man-made blaze on a remote Utah mountainside could provide valuable insights into the behavior of powerful wildfires growing more common out in the West. So they're creating man-made fires out here in Utah with all these winds. They're using LiDAR equipped trucks. And the footage I showed you right in the intro, the helicopters that are dropping the liquid fuel to start the fires, that's what they're going to be using. So helicopters are pelting burning liquid fuel at the treetops. Dozens of firefighters will providing support on the ground using drip torches, flamethrowers to create a towering wall of flame that will stretch from the forest floor to the sky. As the heat builds, the blaze roars across spruce, fir strip canopies. A small army of scientists will launch their weather balloons and drones, drive radar and LiDAR equipped trucks around the perimeter, fly specialized research planes overhead, and gather data on the hardened GoPro cameras to analyze the inferno from the start. Why the hell are they doing this? I thought we were under a climate crisis. Why are they adding to the chemicals in the sky, man? This just shows how nuts these people are. Now, if you live in California, if, you know, PG&E shutting your power off, stealing your land, weather modifying your weather, well, and making your insurance or your payments go way high. Now the insurers have dropped fire coverage for 350,000 California residents. Insurance has become a serious problem in California as wildfires past and present wreak havoc on the state. These are the governments that are doing all this. This is the new world order, man. They're just ripping you off any way they can. So this, I don't know if we're going to get into this. I mean, I got so much stuff we can get into. And we have the 16-day forecast. Here's the interactive map with the mandatory evacuations all over the place. Let me back that out, see where else we got. And remember that big fire down in the Bajas? They finally started reporting on this today. That fire was blazing bad a couple days ago. I mean, they lost like 400 homes or something like that down there. Big time stuff. They're going to call for more power outages on Tuesday and Wednesday this week. So it's not over. It's only beginning. Now we're talking almost 3 million people without power. This is getting out of hand, man. This is getting out of control. You have the wind weapons here. We got a 103 mile an hour wind clocked in Northern California overnight. Look at the chemtrails in the sky on the thumbnail they provided. So here they're showing you the predictive programming. They're showing you that they're laying down the accelerants. You can see the aerosols in the air, more chemtrails in the background. Got the 12-hour peak wind speed, 103 miles an hour at 842 feet. So pretty crazy at the weather manipulation that's going on. You can go over here to the NOAA's National Weather Service and get all the winds and all the coordinates of the winds. Now, if we had time, we could dig into this and see exactly where these winds are going, what's next to them, a wind farm, solar farm, next rat, you know, we could really dig into there. Down in Australia, police are given shoot-to-kill powers under a new pursuit policy. Police have been authorized to shoot and kill drivers who deliberately or recklessly risk the lives of the public as part of a new hostile vehicle policy. The New World Order is really getting bad down here. super police state. Now they're just going to gun you down if it looks like you're speeding away from the cops. All right, where do I want to go now? All right, let me show you this. This is insane. So I have all the volcanoes and all the fires and all the toxic air from the fires. Now wait till I zoom in on the fires. You're going to see the biggest grid pattern, and it don't only show up on this one. Hey, thanks out there, Bamboo. I mean, this is insane. Look at this. These are all in perfect grids. Are these the power line grids? Whose house is in that area that's not burning? Everything is in a grid fire pattern except for right there. Somebody lives there. They don't want to burn. Now, the cool thing about this is we can actually click on these and get the coordinates and find out exactly where these are. This is at the Climate Viewer 3D. So hopefully I get some time and I can dig in and really zoom down and find out where is these fires starting. So we got one up here that's got some toxic air going up around the Redwood Valley area. You know, the winds keep changing directions. So pretty insane. We'll try to get back in this map here in a little bit. And then I want to show you, there's the man-made cyclone that they made out of the United Arab Emirates, the weathergenerator.net. Look at the chemtrail out here. They created that. They admitted to it, and then they're flooding out Iran right now. Weathergenerator.net. They turned it on a couple days ago, and look what happened. So, okay, look, here's the grid patterns again. When I zoom in real far, they get real little, but you can see they look like a Wi-Fi signal of fires in a perfect grid pattern. Look at that. Doubles. Now, in some of the footage I'm going to show you here in a minute, right where that tanker caught on fire, it's smoking out here. I mean, there's tons of different places that are on fire right now, which we might be able to get into on this map. I tell you what, let's get the 16-day forecast out of the way, and then we'll come back to this fire business so we can spend some time on there. All right, so right here, we're looking at the wind. Let me get this where I can get it and click the thing. All right, so here's our wind in knots, and you can see the scale over here. I can't change it to mile per hour, but anyway, let's just kind of go through here so you guys can see what's coming as far as the wind patterns, and then we'll jump into the let me get on. I got to get on to today. Okay, now we're on today. So this is what it's showing the winds are at the 850 HPAs. So let's just look at the winds over here up in the upper northeast. Here's where our wind field is here at about 6 hours. Pretty strong winds. So we're just going to take this up. You got a huge wind machine down here right where the military stuff is there in northern Nevada. I'm just going to see if there's any big events coming up. The crazy thing is we called all this wind out 2 weeks ago. We knew it was coming as part of the weather plan. You know, PG&E has their own meteorologist. That's because they do the weather modification programs. All you got to do is look it up. We show it. We showed it last night. We gave the link where they're working with the water resources companies and all that. All right, so let's go ahead and just get the 16-day forecast out of the way. Let me get this on what we need. So we can see where you get these real black lines really close together. That's where the winds are. You can see there's pretty extreme wind there, and then over Colorado. So let's just go up 6 hours at a time. And, you know, we'll see aerosols being deployed out ahead of all these storms. I'm going to go through this pretty quick. We still have a wind. Look, where they're starting the fires up in Idaho. Look at the winds. Super tight isobars. It's going to get out of control from them. Heads up now for Idaho, Wyoming, Washington, going down into Montana. I mean, it's just going to be a wind event here over several days, next 48 hours. The winds are going to be really cranking up here on Wednesday, right through the mountain range. So it's going to be splitting off, doing all kinds of funky stuff. And in the meantime, we have ice, snow for the Midwest, blizzard type conditions, severe thunderstorms, possible tornadoes here on October 31st, here on Halloween. So this is going to just skirt on over to the east. So you guys will be looking at, I mean, there could be tornadoes in that. You got blizzard up in Quebec and up in Canada. Anyway, I'm just going to scroll through this till we see something. Now we should have a chemtrail-free days here on Sunday, November 3rd. This should be chemtrail-free. Should be a chemtrail nowhere but maybe in Florida. So mark that down on your calendar. Then the spraying will start up in North Dakota on the 4th. So we should have a big break from the chemtrails. Look at this. There'll be aerosols being deployed down in Florida around the 6th, 7th. So right now, so far it's looking pretty good till we get here on Friday, November 8th. We got a chance of severe storms, possible tornadoes, Texas, Oklahoma. Flooding rains. Look, they may be trying to put the fires out here on the 9th, November 9th. Which, if there is any fires up there in the north, well, you'll be having mudslides and all kinds of stuff. So really, this is probably about the, probably the least worst forecast we've seen in a long time. But look up here in Washington, Oregon, here on the 11th. You got a major storm coming in. Lots of rain. And you're going to get waves. It's going to be kind of a mixture between rain and snow. Not even going to check the Canadian model, but what we will do is go to the total precipitation. This is going to tell us the target zones for all the moisture. So Washington, Oregon, big time moisture. Over Oklahoma, you're a target. Texas, Tennessee, all the way through the Ohio valleys. Alabama, parts of Florida, southern Florida, and then right on up to the central northeast. That's your target zones. You're talking, 5 inches of rain at least for the next 2 weeks. Hey, thanks out there, thanks out there, Susan, PG&E, recall. Yeah, definitely recall all of them. Every one of these government officials need to be pulled out. We need a pots and pan revolution, just like what happened in Iceland. In Iceland, they got sick of this crap, and they all took their pots and pans, and they went up and pulled all these psychopaths out of office, every one of them. So you can see there's not going to be a whole lot of moisture at all over California. They're not going to let it rain there. We already know the technology of steering the atmospheric rivers is being used worldwide. We show the companies almost every night. Let's go ahead and check the temperatures real quick before we jump off of this and see what we're looking at as far as polar vortex cold. So I'm going to try to scroll through this pretty quick. Hopefully the stream is running okay in 1080. I mean, this is the first time I've ever tried to stream in 1080, so this is going to be a pretty big test. So we got some really cold temperatures over Montana, Wyoming, going down through Colorado, coming up. I mean, that's pretty good batch of cold. Here on October 29th, look at them temperatures, -0 or -1, 0. Right there in Wyoming, man. They're turning on the winter machine. Look at that cold air getting all the way down into Colorado, -2. This is on October 31st. So pretty brutal little first wave of the cold air. Let's just see if there's any kind of polar. Then it's going to be all right after that for a while. All right, so that's the 16-day forecast. Pretty much not as eventful as what's been going on here lately. Now let's check the Earth null. We got to check the polar vortex. Yeah, nice crowd out there. Glad you guys could join us and see what's going on, the real weather. And what we're looking at right now, we're looking at the winds up in the stratosphere down here in the southern hemisphere. See, they're trying to disintegrate this thing. Now let me look at the temperatures. And we still have a heating event. There's a heating event that's been going on for over a month, an atmospheric compression, man-made. Like, we can check the temperatures here at the North Pole. It's -21. Get out here a little ways, -8. That's way warmer. It should be. Look, just come over here in the purples, -36. What is it up here in the north? -94. It's colder up here in the Arctic than it is down here, but it wouldn't be like that if this atmospheric compression event wasn't going on. So we get it back on the winds. This whole polar vortex here, these polar vortex winds are getting ready to shift up, and then they're all going to be up here in the north. Look at that. It's not even connected together, but look, it's trying. This polar vortex is massive wind field. Look, it's going right down through the center of the United States, up and around. So that's going to tighten up. We'll see what it looked like last year at this time. Let's just compare to last year at this time. So pretty close. See, they had a much faster wind field last year in the south. So it took, you know, we're like a couple of weeks ahead of schedule on this polar vortex. So that's pretty crazy. And what we want to do now is check the jet stream winds. And we can see how they're steering the system. We had all the bunker fuel being deployed out here in the Pacific, right in this zone, which helped them steer the atmospheric, or the jet stream up and around, create a huge trough. And that's why the winds are blowing straight down. We can back it up. We can see what the bunker fuel did. They're splitting apart back here. Let's go forward and see what's going to happen with this jet stream. It's just going to kind of hang out right there. Look at that. It's just going to hang out there for days. Not normal. Let's go ahead and check the ocean. We have a pretty big wave anomaly out here in the Atlantic. Talking 38-foot waves. Just kind of looking around because we got to look at all this stuff to see what's going on. All right, so here's our, let me make sure I'm on now, make sure I didn't. All right, so actually for all the fires that are going on, it's not even showing a whole lot of carbon monoxide where the fires are. It is where the fire down there in the Bajas is, and up here in Canada. Where's all the carbon right here? Where's all the carbon monoxide from this fire? Let me back it up a few hours and just see, where is it? See, that tells you right there, there's something different about this fire. That's a fire. These are fires. There's the fire right there. It's just barely showing any carbon monoxide, which is very strange. And you have to wonder, you know, what's going on underneath the ground. When I show you the clip of what we captured and all the different ignition points that are going on. It's pretty mind-blowing here. Just checking the PM 2.5s. So why is this fire not showing up on here? What is going on? The Baja fire is. All the other fires are going on, but right there. All right, let's jump out of that. And if you're just now joining us, look at the grids of this fire. I have all the fires that are going on right now marked, and I have all the volcanoes. Now, if you look, we got that San Andreas fault right here. And hold on, let me get out that. Over here in this area by Ridgecrest, this whole area dropped by 40 centimeters a couple weeks ago. You've had thousands of earthquakes over here. This is a super volcano. But look at all these ignition points. And then when you zoom in on this, you got to wonder if fracking has anything to do with this. You got to wonder if the laser-based microwave weapons are doing this. But when you look at this grid, this is a fire grid. And you can see there's one spot in this whole grid that they didn't want to burn. This spot right here. I wonder if I can pull the coordinates. Yeah, it won't give me the coordinates of that, but it was let me copy that. Copy. Here, we might be able to. I was going to use Google 3D, but let me see if I can just Google search this area that will go to the east. And see what's there. Why is that not burning? Ah, what the hell is this? We get rid of that. Maybe that's messing it up. All right. Why is it not giving it to me? What the heck? Maybe it's these little quotation marks. Unable to find. Okay, hold on here. Try that. All right, I'll do this later. I won't waste time on this. All right, there's a reason why that's not burning right there. They don't want it to burn. Another area up here, they're not wanting to burn. These are all super grids. The green that you're seeing, the yellow that you're seeing is the toxic air. It's the toxic air that's not showing up on the earth null. You got another fire down here south with some bad air coming off. All right, let me show you something here. Let me change this scene here. Let me show you some of the I'm going to try to get this over where I screen captured some of these fires. And if it don't work real good on here, we'll just go right on over.
Yeah, so another question on in an interview with the Los Angeles Times on April 21st, you said that you told the Associated Press that the American government has created.
All right, here. So I captured this before the show a couple hours ago, and everywhere I put my mouse, if you guys can see that good, is where a fire or some kind of flume is coming off. And it may not even show a fire, but we have a big flume of smoke coming off right where the gas tanks exploded, just a little bit north of them. And then also there was a fire showing up out off the coast of Oregon. Now, I don't know if that's an oil well out there or if it's coming out of one of the volcanoes. And I thought I sped this up. Yeah, this is going to take too long. Let me get out of that. We'll just go right to the maps. Like I said, if this doesn't come in clear, man, we're doing this in 1080, so it should be really clear. So what I want to do here, let me get this on the fire layer, and then you're going to be able to see. Man, I should have left it there so I could have showed the bunker fuel operations. Now what I'll do is I'll enhance this a little bit, just to try to get it to come out a little brighter. And are we on? Yeah, we're on the natural. We need to zoom in though, really close. Yeah, we got to get this zoomed in so you guys can see this. Because there's some fires going on everywhere. Not just the ones we're seeing. There's some kind of flumes coming. Look right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So right here, we got one. Hold on, let me back that up. So I'm going to point out all the fires. Okay, so the first 5 frames, you got a fire there, a fire there, or at least a hot spot. You go up 1 frame, and another one pops off here, another one pops off there. You got one there, and then one down below it. Let's go up another couple frames. You got 1, 2, 3. Another 4th, 5th, and you got another one popping off down here. You got one there, and a new one on the north side of that fire. And right, if I can get it there, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spots. You know, is this coming out of the fracking? Look, over in Nevada, you're starting to get them. You got one here, then the big one. You got one here. This is the one that's making a big flume of dust or smoke. You got another one there, another one there, another one there, another one there, one there, and one here, and one here. So there's stuff popping off. That one's really picking up right there. And there's that one still showing. And then here's the other one that's starting to smoke pretty good. One there, one here. And then another pretty bright one pops off right there. But the strange thing is, let's go up off the... See, now you're seeing the smoke off this one. So we got multiple fires going right this minute, because that's here at the end. But man, there's all kinds of ignition points. It looks like they're connecting. I mean, there's like 10 fires right here, 10 hot spots. Let me go up north a little bit, because it blew my mind. We caught the hot spot out off in the ocean. I think it's right where a volcano is. I don't know if this one will be close enough to pick that up. Let's see here. I know I got it screen captured on the other files here. Yeah, that's not picking it up. Let me go up a little bigger here. Let's see if it's off this. All right, so let's see if we can get this one to load up. Got the chemtrails blowing in there. You know what? It might have been off the coast of Washington. I did see it. I did capture it. I do have it saved, so. You know, the PG&E, they're the same company as Solarian, and they're, you know, beaming down 200 megawatts of microwave power from their satellite. Ooh, right there. Okay, check this out, guys. Right here where my mouse is. Watch this area. That's where the hot spot. Watch. Something exploded out of the ocean. Whoa. So we have a volcanic flume out off the coast of Washington. And there's another one popping off. And then here comes all the chemtrails to hide it. So it's still smoking underneath there. Now let's go and see if there's a volcano out there. Let me turn off the enhancements here. These look a little farther off. Yeah, these are off the coast a little farther. So what is going on? There's got to be some volcanic vents out here. Yeah, that looks like a volcano right there. Underwater volcanoes are starting to flume out. And you can see all the fires. I mean, we have fires on each side of the volcano fields. Makes you wonder what's going on underneath. That's what I'm saying. This could be way worse than we think. This could be not only PG&E and their microwave weapons. This could also be, you know, seismic volcanism. You know, some kind of from all the frequencies being hit. Also, just over there in Hawaii, you just had the Kilauea volcano fissure started venting in the Liani Estates between the 8th and the 24th. I just remembered that. So crazy stuff going on. Let's go check out the worldview map. All right, so we have all the fires that it's showing on here, but it's not showing the one. It's barely showing this one. What's crazy, man? Here's the crazy thing. It don't look that bad right now, but if you go back, yesterday is like the fires almost went out down here. But look what they look like back on the 25th, 2 days ago. It looked just like the fires that are going on now. I mean, this thing has destroyed tons of homes. And just like the Kincaid fire, whatever this fire is, you got the chemtrails right over the fire zone. And it went out, but then it picked up. It picked up the next day. And this is where we are today. Another show you how it's in a grid formation. All the hot spots are going in a grid, just like a fracking grid. Now, if I can get that layer to load, man, we got another spraying operation out here off the coast of BC and Oregon. Look at these guys out here. They're laying down the liners. They're prepping for the next firestorm and windstorm. When they add all these heavy metal particulates in the sky coming from the boats and the planes, then you get they can steer. It's like nanobots. So these long straight yellow lines, that's the bunker fuel. So the bunker fuel operations are still going on here right off the coast of Southern California. And look at all the X's up here in Idaho. So you got mega X's, aerosols being deployed all through here, right where they're getting ready to do the fires, the so-called controlled fires. They're going to bring the wind in here. They're going to let it get out of control, so heads up. You got aerosols being deployed all over Florida, down in the Gulf of Mexico. Look at these aerosols coming off Havana. So all out in the Atlantic. So just mega aerosols. And it's not the only country. You have a man-made storm down here in Uruguay, Rio. All aerosols being deployed in the southern part of that storm. Down here in Chile, in Argentina, man-made storms, bunker fuels. And what's going on the West Coast has just happened in Australia too. We watched them a couple days ago lay all the chemtrails across here. Now look, the fires have sprung up right after the aerosols have been deployed. We went from hardly no fires to fires everywhere. The chemtrails and the fires go hand in hand. They're spraying the accelerants still out here, right here off the coast of Sydney. Try to see if we can get another layer on this. So the aerosols were a little bit to the south earlier in the day. And then we'll click the layer and see how they progressed and how the fires progressed. So yeah, these are targeted aerosols. Yep, now they're gritting up here off the coast of Sydney. So same thing is going on in Australia. It's going on up in Europe. Or actually, Europe is actually getting, up here in the UK is getting a break. But look, the aerosols are starting back up. They got a couple-day break. Now they're bringing in the aircraft and just super gritting the sky. These are all synthetic man-made clouds. And if you don't believe that, I got a little clip here I'll play. Since they messed up all my scenes. Here, let me try to play this.
Yes, sir. Another question on the in an interview with the Los Angeles Times on April 21st, you said that you told the Associated Press that the American government has created weather tampering techniques so that the New World Order will be able to starve millions of Americans and to control the rest. Would you explain what you were trying to say?
Well, what I was trying to say is exactly what I said. There is weather control techniques. We have a complete package on that, which I did not bring, but I certainly will see to it that it is brought in for the record. Number one, the entire patents on the equipment. Number two, Senator Claiborne Pell's complete statement and story of his own that not only does it exist, but that we even utilize it as far back as the Vietnam War. You might want to touch base with Senator Pell.
I just want to repeat before I turn to
So yes, but we do have all that information.
You're saying the government has created weather tampering techniques so that the, quote, New World Order will be able to starve millions of Americans.
Worldwide.
Millions of Americans, and to control the rest.
Yes, sir, and that's my belief. As bizarre as that sounds, if somebody had told me that that equipment even existed 10 years ago, I would have thought they were nuts, sir. And at this point in time, we have all the documents to prove it. And if you think that 85 tornadoes takes place in the middle of our growing area by simultaneous accident, I'm sorry. With the equipment that's already set up internationally, and as bizarre as that is, it is proven and documented. We will supply you with those documents. As bizarre as that is, I would say that weather wars, and this is quoting actually Senator Claiborne Pell himself, that they are the greatest weapon ever created in the world, and that's the Senator's own statement. So yes, I do stand on that.
Thank you, Mr. Fletcher. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
All right, guys. So I come over here. We're back on the Go 17. And if you don't know what bunker fuel is, if you can see these long, straight lines, we report on them all the time. These are bunker fuel. This is like the leftovers of refining gas. And what we notice is every time there's a big bunker fuel operation out here, it's actually gone down a little bit since a couple days ago, but every time there's some kind of major event that happens. Before the Paradise fires, we had heavy bunker fuel operations right out straight off the coast. Right now we have them straight off the Bajas, right where the other big fires are going. In fact, there's some bunker fuel right here. So they're dumping it out 2 by 2 right now. And I can actually show you back a couple days ago just how bad the bunker fuel was. We can turn that layer on, then I'll just back it up a couple days. And before every hurricane, bunker fuel. Before every major weather pattern change, bunker fuel. Now look where the fires are right here. Here's the fires. So the bunker fuel operations, these long billowing outlines, these are coming from the ships, the weather modification ships, started up in the north, and then they progress south as we go up a day. Kind of hard to see because it's all down in here. And then here we are today. So they're down here, and then they're right off the coast where the fires are going down in Mexico. So here we are, we're seeing them, you know, live on this. And then the dark blue lines, that's the chemtrails. That's coming from the sky. The white lines are coming from the ocean. It's a two-part mix. All this is aerosols being deployed. And we could probably turn this on the cirrus cloud layer. Yeah, I know. We need some subscribers, man. We got to get off this 6 crap, man. We need, like, and the crazy thing, when we started this show, we needed 66 subscribers to get us off that number. Surely you guys can find 66 new people before the show's over. So make sure you subscribe. If you're not, we got to get out of that number. All right, let me put a little enhancement on. Wow, look at the aerosols being deployed. You thought that was fire smoke? Think again. Now look at this. So we already know we can't see the bunker fuel operations out here, but all these long, straight, crisscrossing patterns, that's the aircraft. Them are man-made synthetic clouds. And they're just targeting Southern California and the Bajas. You can also see the aerosols being deployed up here off the coast of Northern California. In fact, let's go up north and see what they're doing up off the coast of Washington and Oregon. Oh, I can prove this. I prove it every night. I show everything. I can't show the same things every night. You got to go back and listen to the shows, because I have all the documentation to prove this. And I even have the Navy admitting to it here. Let me see if I can add a clip real quick. You don't think the bunker fuel isn't a military operation? Hold on here. Let me add a clip in and we'll listen to it real quick. If my broadcaster will work. So here we go. Let me add a file. Now this might be loud because I can't turn the I won't be able to turn the video down before it starts. So just give me 1 second here. And I want to go to videos. And then we're looking for Wxxx where is it? Okay, here we go. Here we go. And then all you gotta do is type in bunker fuel.
The Navy Warfare Development Command tested a new anti-ship missile defense system June 21st through 25th. Pandora Fog consists of shipboard radar-absorbing carbon fiber clouds tested under a variety of at-sea conditions using assets from the U.S. Army, Navy, and Air Force. These man-made clouds are part of a layered defense and are capable of preventing a missile from detecting and striking its target.
So, how do you think a cloud is going to protect a missile from striking a target? So right there, I just showed you that the Navy is making man-made carbon fiber clouds. You want to know why there's so much plastic all over the place? That could be part of it. So here we are, looking up here off the coast of Oregon and Washington. And look at the X. The X marks the spot. And it's just going to keep on growing. These so-called water vapor is turning into a cloud. It's turning into a weather system. It's creating rain. You know, all you have to do is go to, how about, I could pull in the, well, I'll pull that one in. And I can show you where PG&E does weather modification. I can show you that here in just a second. But here's Idaho Power Company harvesting the storm. Now, they use injections of silver iodide from ground-based towers and flares on modified aircraft to make the winter storm produce more snow. They're doing this all year. Search North America weather modification. Go to the Texas License Bureau. You know, the 2019 Texas License Bureau committee meeting, the weather modification, they admitted to cloud seeding the clouds that were already thunderstorm warned. They admitted that they caused 40% more rainfall. That's why the Midwest got flooded this year. That's why every rainstorm is producing 40% more rain, is because everything is being seeded. Now let me see if I can find the PDF on what we looked at yesterday. I should have the link in the description. Let me just see if I put it in there. Here, I should have a little link here for it. Okay, let me pull up my links here. I'll let that run while I'm looking for this, if it'll run. So give me a second here, because this is worth showing you in writing, in a government document, that PG&E does weather control. Yeah, I wish I could remember the link. I got it here somewhere. Well, here, I can't find that one right this second, but if you go back and watch last night's video or the day before, I talk about it, and I show the link, and I give the link, and I post it in to the chat. So I know the link's out there, unless somebody's got that link for me where it shows PG&E is modifying the weather. But look over here, that this storm that I just showed you over here off the coast of Oman. This is a man-made storm, and I'm going to show you the company that did it. This is the weather generator company. It's called weathergenerator.net. You can type that in your browser. They've been modifying the weather in the Middle East since 1995. And you go down here to the recent news. They just fired up. So right here, 3 minutes ago, rain enhancement project that will cover all the countries in the Middle East. Yeah. Here we go. 4 minutes ago, new corridor rain. The Dubai weather generator was switched on the 24th of October 2019 at 8 a.m. A special report. They love this stuff. When they flood people out, they're like loving it. That's what they want. They want to turn the desert green. That's what they do. So I really can't find that PDF right now, but it's, like I said, it's in the other shows. You could go to the Texas License Bureau, tdlr.texas.gov. If you're a farmer, you can buy your own cloud ionizer. But look, go up here to the license types. We're here on the government page. You scroll over and click weather modification. Now there's tons of sites that show, you know, where they're doing the weather modification, but you can get your chemtrail license right here in Texas. So yeah, there's just tons of, I mean, people, if you don't know they're modifying the weather, man, it's, I don't know what to tell you, because all the information is there. Or try weathermodificationhistory.com. They've been modifying the weather since the 1800s. You can go up here and click the timeline. You can go to the cloud seeding, geoengineering, space weather. Let's go to the newspaper articles. They start out back in the 1800s through 1930. They were producing rain in 1891. You know, they were so crazy back then. They were shooting, you know, dynamite up into the sky at the thunderstorms, trying to make it rain worse. They got into the electro cloud seeding in about 1903. Every article has been archived here. Electric rain making. Let's see what this says. Let's click it. In Australia, experiments are being carried out down under with an electrical plant to make rain. According to a Sydney newspaper, research showed the inventor that in fine weather there was a charge of positive electricity in the higher regions of the air, you know, like Hart does to the ionosphere. And that when it rained, negative electricity predominated. He was studying the effects of mountains on rainfall. So, like, you know, they've been steering the rivers on the ground forever. Look at this. July 20th, 1919. Producing rain with X-rays and a balloon. October 1990. Using hail cannons. Hail suppression back in 1919. These are all real articles that have been archived. Spraying liquid air into clouds back in 1921. So, you know, we could debate anybody, any meteorologist out here, that this has been going on for years and years and years, and they're all just lying sock puppet liars. They're paid actors, and they wouldn't tell you the truth unless it had a dollar bill on it. So anyway, guys, we're going to call this a show. Much love. Thanks to everybody out there that shares this information out. We'll be back here tomorrow night. We'll cover these fires best we can, and the people that are making the fires. If you haven't watched the last couple nights, go back, watch them. Tons of information in there. And much love. Pray for the people out here. Pray for everybody on the West Coast, because we don't know what's going on. Could be something going on underneath. Anyway, guys, we're going to play a song called Rise. It's time to rise. You need to get your neighbors, friends, family. Otherwise, this is going to keep going on. We've already seen PG&E has killed hundreds of people, if not thousands, with their gas explosions, their fires. Now they have space-based weapons, microwave weapons. So anyway, guys, let's rise. Crank it up.